Well, it certainly doesn't look like Missouri anymore.
I stopped at the bin site this morning. We had to do some switching around. There's how that works. Until we get our dump building put in and the proper drag conveyor and pit, this is what we got to use. But the 4320 decided to have the hydraulics no longer work on it. So we had to enlist the 8400. But it works. We're still dumping. That's all that matters. Made it over to Illinois with the 620, the case ripper. Had a little rain yesterday, last night. Our bottom ground in Missouri, pretty greasy here yet today. Finish up the corn over there, so I'll come over and try this. So you can figure out how to get everything set on this thing and see what kind of job it'll do. Well, so far, I like the job it's doing. We used to run that 512, which leaves the ground really, really rough. This case ripper, with that leveling on the back, leaves it pretty nice. Be easy to come in the spring, hit that with something, and be able to plant it without having it be really, really rough. Now, one tree on the entire farm, a big one. Guess what? Oh yeah, limbs laying on the ground. So we gotta pick those up out of the field.
We're going somewhere new today. Somewhere where a Goldinger has never farmed before. We gotta cross this thing called the Mississippi River to get to where we're going. That's right, we're going to Illinois. Here we are at the Illinois branch of Goldinger Farms. Dad's been here for a few minutes. He wanted to adjust something on the disc ripper, which is the new Case IH one that we got. So now we're really Illinois people, because everyone in Illinois apparently has a Case IH disc ripper, or DMI. So the Mississippi River is actually right over there, and on the other side of the Mississippi River is places that we farm. So this really is like a mile and a half away from stuff that we farm in Missouri. And this place was in corn last year, and Dad wants to put it back to corn for next year because this is his farm. So we're out here with our Case IH disc ripper, working down the corn stalks and kind of turning it black. So a lot of our stuff that's in the river bottom in Missouri is kind of a gumbo type of soil. There is no gumbo about this. It just falls apart in your hands. I'm excited to try the Illinois thing. Maybe we can raise like 280 bushel corn over here like the rest of these guys. That would be nice. I just finished up this 60-something acre field right here. It's really not a whole lot to video. It's literally 22 feet at a time across the field. Kind of takes a while, but the benefits I think are there for this type of tillage on this type of ground. However, I would not want to go take this on the hill and disc rip every single acre that we have. A, because it would take forever. B, because a big rain comes, bam, all that loose dirt, gone. This thing rocks. I honestly can't believe we ever had a John Deere ripper, because looking back, it's so bad, and this is so good. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but the tractor's lugging down quite a bit here on the end rows where it's been compacted and ran over so many times through normal field operations. It also doesn't help that my grandpa was over here with the scraper, moving some dirt around, getting things to drain a little bit better. This ripper here we got a pretty good deal on, and it seems to be working really well so far. I'd like to find a second one, but we also bought a Kuhn Krause Dominator disc ripper. It's also an 11 shank, and it's a little bit different machine than this one. It doesn't have disc blades up front. It's got straight blades to chop up the residue. And then it's got the same kind of leveler on the back and same sort of ripper shanks. I started another field here and I'm at a good stopping point. And I'm getting low on fuel and def, so I gotta stop. I am going to fuel up and def up for the night. And I'm gonna go home and eat. So far it's been a pretty good first day of disc gripping here in Illinois. Never thought I'd say that, but here I am in the Fall Creek Township in the Snai River bottom. So, never know what life's gonna give you. Unfortunately, I have to walk a quarter of a mile back to the truck in the dark. That's gonna be fun. Oh, never mind. It kind of takes a while to pump 300 gallons of diesel from a transfer tank into a tractor tank. This morning, the concrete people from Quincy are here pouring the concrete inside of our new building. I'm gonna go grab a couple clips of video for that for you guys. This farm that I'm ripping on has a pivot, but it's not like the rest of our pivots that are powered by straight electricity. This one has a standalone power unit. So today I get to learn how to run a standalone power unit. So this engine, which appears to be like a, what is this? This is like from a 4020 or something. I'm gonna make a phone call and see how this thing works. Well, this thing's deader than a doornail, so this is gonna have to wait until tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm gonna finish up the end rows on this 100 acres that's not under the pivot that I got done, and then head over. There's another 70 acres right there that I would like to get done today as well. This bean stubble is pulling a lot easier than the corn stalks were. I've also picked up the disc blades that are in front of the ripper shanks because this is really like a three-piece design. You got disc blades, then the ripper shanks, and then the rear leveler. I'm still running the rear leveler all the way down because it levels things out, and honestly, you could go plant into this. It's just beautiful. You couldn't actually plant into this because there are still little ridges everywhere, but it just looks nice. I have never seen a field freshly ripped by us that looks like this. Absolutely gorgeous. Even though this is Illinois, I suppose the sunset is almost as pretty as it is in Missouri. This is absolutely my favorite time of day, beyond a shadow of a doubt. It just shows a lot of the beauty that God has created in this world, if you're the God-fearing type. I'm about done with my last pass of end rows on this bean stubble field, and it went pretty smoothly. I really can't complain. Here's the concrete in the new building. It's pretty nice. Here we have the last two fields of corn for 2021. On the other side of this levee, there is the mighty Mississippi River. And behind us is the greatest tillage tool ever devised. Well, I should say second to only the Salford. This is one of the 3 new farms we have over here. This one's 80 acres and looks like it lays all right. I'm gonna have to pick up and go around the ditch that Grandpa made out there to help get water out of here. In this field, there's several places where Grandpa worked with the scraper, and we'll just see how hard this pulls. So we're in 7th gear right now, and we're getting into where Grandpa is working it over the scraper. Most of the rest of this field I've been running in like 10th gear, wide open, going like 7.1 miles an hour, just because we're in bean stubble and I'm not really running the disc blades at all. Right there we were lugging down all the way to 1800 RPMs. As usual, the case ripper is doing a fantastic job. Once we get back out onto this better ground here that hadn't been compacted so much, you can just start running, absolutely giving her. Auto steer engage. Set the ripper down. You're good to go. So what Grandpa did here with the scraper is he took dirt from over there where water was struggling to get out. He put it in another low spot right here where the water was standing, so that we're gonna force the water out into the ditch and then into the slough. We actually did quite a bit of cutting and filling as that operation. We did quite a bit of that over here on these Illinois farms. Well, boys, this is why you trim the trees around the edge of the field. Did not see that one coming. Looks like we have cracked the mirror. Great. Trees, your time on this earth is limited. In the meantime, I think I can get this back on. Good as used, right? Farmers have been accused for a long time of just hating trees, but the reality is trees, like everything else, is a resource that you have to manage, and sometimes folks don't manage it right, and this is what happens. Stuff gets grown up, and then you whack your mirror on it, and it just causes some downtime and a little bit of frustration. I have conquered another Illinois farm. You get folded up here, and we're gonna go down the road about 1.5 miles to the next one. Perfect. Safety third. We have arrived to this new farm here. There's like 352 acres, mostly in one field. We also have 3 fantastic grain bins over there and a railroad bridge if anyone's interested. Supposedly one of the bins is full of something, and there's no signs of that something being put in this year. So there's probably a surprise most unpleasant in that bin. I got that 60-acre field done, so I think now is a good time to stop for the day. Also, it's 11:30, and I haven't eaten anything since 10:30 this morning. Bright and early at 7:05 the next morning here. Fueling up the tractor the rest of the way. And I'm also going to take a peek in this bin over here and see what exactly is in it, because I'm kind of scared to find out, honestly. If that bin is half full of beans that have been in there for 1.5 years, not good. We got the tractor, the ripper, the truck. We have a bridge. It's kind of dope. The Goldinger Bridge here has wheels on it too, so we could just drag it down the highway with a pickup. And I think we should just like set it in front of our house just for fun. This bridge used to sit right in there. It crossed a ditch, and it was for a train, but obviously no longer being used. This is what an empty bin sounds like. This is what a full bin sounds like. Yikes. It would appear as if this bin was recently used. I guess the latch doesn't work anymore, so that would be why it's wired shut, kind of. Ooh, it's got a little bit of a crinkle there in the side. Man, the old boy got this thing plumb full. It is coned way up. So we can't tear this bin down until he gets the corn out of it. Honestly, I really didn't expect any of these 3 bins to be full of anything. A little rust on the roof of a bin has never stopped anybody before.
All right, it is Wednesday, December 15th, and barring any sort of major malfunctions, this should be the last day for corn. Got one more field left. It's already opened up. Nice long rows, way down there for the end. Pretty good running. We ought to have her licked hopefully by 7:30 maybe. That's my hope. What I'm hoping. Move on to the next project.
This ground up here is pulling really easy, working down really well too. The Mississippi River works in strange ways. Once you get about halfway across this field, it turns into a really light kind of dirt, similar to what you'd find on the hill. But further west, it's a lot heavier. Not quite gumbo. Not really sure what it is. This is our first year on it, so we're just going to have to see how it responds to this tillage in the coming years, and what it would do if we didn't have the time or the chance to do this type of tillage on it. It kind of surprised me how much variability in soil type there was across this field. We have a spectator of the K9 variety here today. I could get used to this whole Illinois farming thing. I know. I make a lot of jokes about people that farm in Illinois, and now we farm in Illinois, so I guess we're Illinois people too. This ripper here is an 11 shank, and initially Dad and I kind of were looking for a 13 shank, and after seeing how hard this one pulls in most of the conditions that we've got, we're very glad we have an 11 shank. Sometimes I wish I had a 9 or maybe another 150 horsepower. Generally, when you're dealing with tillage equipment like this, the more horsepower you have per shank or per square foot, the better.
Well, we're actually ahead of schedule. It is only 6:36, and I got to turn around one more time and just got a few rows over there, and that is it. Finally, seems like it's kind of taking a while. A lot of corn not standing very well, broken over, lodged, all that stuff. Made it take a lot longer than it should have, but always glad to be done. And it is super windy out here tonight. I mean, coming out of the south at, I don't know, 30 mile an hour, something like that tonight. So really blowing the shucks and everything around. Can't really see where you're going half the time. I can see well enough to see the end. Just a few more feet here. Get the auto steer in one last time. Get to the end of the field. Get out and throw the rest of the corn in the head, throw it in the feeder house. And that is it. That's gonna be a wrap for the year. Finally.
If you didn't know already, it's HISEA Outdoors work boots. They rock. If you're in the market for a pair of work boots, you need to get a pair. The code in the description will get you a little bit off your pair of boots if you decide to buy some. Well, thanks for watching, and should be getting something back this week, something pretty special that's been gone since about April, and I'm excited for that. And we also have some fixing to do on the 4320 and a lot more tillage to do, as you probably could guess. But that'll be in the next video. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Also, you should share the video and like the video and subscribe. All right, I'm done this time. See you later.